biggest misconceptions about emotional men. Let me go ahead and play this clip.
Now men is not crying, they running through their emotions and just running through, not facing stuff.
Well, that's incorrect. This is why you need guidance, because someone that cries, that means that they don't have the ability to have control of their emotions. So you saying that that's the problem with men nowadays? No, the problem with men nowadays is that they're more emotional. An emotional man ends up in prison. An emotional man would steal something. An emotional man will punch you in the face for saying something maybe that he doesn't like because it triggered his emotion. An emotional man will be hitting a woman.
Hiding it inside, shoving it down,
crying and letting it out.
When you let it, this is very simple. When you let it out, they go to prison. When you let it out, they shoot up a school. When you let it out, they steal. That's when they let it out. You're looking at it all wrong. The emotional, intelligent person gets things done, acts a certain way, despite how they feel.
All right, let's go ahead and hop into it. One of the biggest misconceptions about emotional men. Let's see, I'm trying to figure out who I'm gonna call on. Go ahead, Casey.
Wrong for that birthday. So, good evening, everyone. Good to see y'all. I love the video. I totally agree. Being emotionally regulated is really having control over your emotions. Not always feeling like your handling of your emotions has to be outward or expressed in a way that other people are able to sit on the sidelines to your emotions. That last line about working through your emotions and not letting your emotions guide you through things that need to be done, like you suck it up, you get it done. I mean, we can take that to the duty that men always stand by for the most part when it comes to marriage. Men are going to stand by duty regardless of their emotions, whether they're unhappy with their partner, whether they are going through, hard times in different situations. Men are, for the most part, going to stay and be committed to that agreement that they made with their partner in marriage. On vice versa, women are going to play into those emotions, those temporary emotions, because emotions change. You're happy today, you can be unhappy tomorrow. 10 years from now, you can be in wedded bliss. Okay, so being able to work through those emotions despite how you feel currently is really emotional intelligence, because you're not letting your emotions guide you through life. You are able to identify what those feelings are, but you're staying the course of whatever you have and the decisions that you've made for yourself and how you're going to move. So the whole part about acting and playing into your emotions will get men in jail. And all the things that he ran down the list, I completely agree. I absolutely agree. I have three brothers. My father always said it takes a man to be able to train and guide a black boy, to be able to guide him into manhood, right? Because if you have a young black boy who's not equipped with handling his emotions, and I'm going to land my plane, then yes, he's going to be overly expressive into the world that doesn't give a damn about him. And those choices will be made that can end up ruining his future, whether it could be something as being kicked out of college, being kicked out of a university because you're overly expressive and not being able to be emotionally intelligent, knowing how and when is the right place to react physically. And then the most extreme version would be, losing your spouse through domestic violence or ending up in prison in the long term. So I totally agree, and I'll mute my mic.
All right, I'm gonna go to you, Mr. Let Go. One of the biggest misconceptions about emotional men.
Well, the first thing in that video, this is the reason why you never listen to women, because when you're dealing with a woman, in most cases, she's going to want you to be childlike like her in order for you to somewhat be at her level, right?
What?
So never listen to women, fellas, unless she's your actual woman that you chose and you trust her. But just a woman, never listen to her because she don't know what the hell she's talking about. So when it comes to a man regulating his emotions, what the guy said, I agree with, but I disagree also. There's nothing wrong with a man crying. It's about when a man cries. So with me, I've said before, if I see something sad or whatever, if I feel a certain kind of way, if I'm by myself, not around other people, and if I'm looking at a sad movie or something, I'll cry. I've cried in front of my daughters before watching whatever movie we was looking at.
What?
And we all three of us was crying. So it's nothing wrong with a man crying, but it depends on what's going on. My dad, when I was little, he taught me, or he told me, instilled this in me. Never cry for pain, but it's okay to cry for emotions. Too many men, according to what the guy was saying, I think he has the same philosophy. Too many men feel like they have to be hard and tough all the damn time. That is stupid because that is not human. Men get sad, men feel empathetic, men need to cry, men like boohoo cry sometimes. Men have to let that out. Crying, depending on the scenario, is a release. It's almost like pissing or taking a shit. Sometimes you gotta cry. Somebody die or something like that. But the difference between women and men is women cry off of anything because they're children. Okay. So actual adults who have the ability to regulate their emotions and not catastrophize and fall out on the floor because they got a flat tire or because it's raining outside or because the wind is damn blowing. A woman will cry off of some stupid shit like that. So it's an understanding that yes, it's okay to cry, but you don't cry because it's raining outside like a damn woman. That's the difference.
I think Andrea might agree with you. Andrea, what are your thoughts about that? One of the biggest misconceptions about emotional men. And do you agree with Mr. Let Go?
No, I actually don't agree with Mr. Let Go.
What?
I actually honestly hated the video. I thought it was really stupid, and I thought it really perpetuated a negative stereotype that men are not allowed to show emotions and are not allowed to process emotions. The fact that he equated processing emotions to shooting up schools and beating women just kind of really confirms and solidifies the fact that like men are not allowed to have emotions and process them. It's okay to process emotions and then go on with your task that you have to do or complete. As far as crying is concerned, it's scientific evidence to show that crying releases negative toxic hormones and negative toxic stuff in our body that can really cause us cancer and cause us to die early. So for there to be this like perception that men showing emotion, the only way they can do that is in a negative way or an aggressive way, I think is counterproductive to what the messages that you guys are, usually talk about, the fact that men are not allowed to have emotions. I thought the video was stupid. I thought it was dumb. And I disagree with Mr. Let Go and I disagree with Casey.